Hello. This week our video is about the differences between spirituality and counseling and pastoral and biblical counseling. I've looked through websites for several days and browsing through them, and what I have found with spirituality and counseling is that a lot of websites or authors of websites talked about the past versus now in today's world, and a lot of times in the past that counselors didn't talk about religion, that they did not think it was part of their endeavor to focus on the spirituality of a person. But what I've found is that in today's world, a lot of therapists believe that spirituality is important to each individual, and that it's something that's brought up more often. That one thing is that there's a need to address issues of spirituality, and it's becoming more prevalent in our counseling sessions. It's now believed to be a part of our coping skills, obviously a purpose in your life, and that it helps to promote, spirituality helps to promote a strong sense of self. But today, a lot of therapists do encourage their clients to dig deeper into their spiritual beliefs, and just to see, to encourage them to communicate with other people of the same faith. Spiritual therapy is growing rapidly, and a lot of therapists believe that a higher person does exist. They don't necessarily talk about organized religion. Some therapists do, but some do not. And a lot of therapies explore the belief that spirituality explores the core belief of an individual. Still found that some therapists in different websites are afraid to talk about faith as part of a treatment plan, or talk about it because they're worried that if it's used in the wrong way, that it can jeopardize their therapeutic relationship. Obviously, I didn't check every website, but a lot of ones that I checked talked about that many therapists and counselors, they consider spirituality relevant to their own lives, but many of them do not participate in organized religion. Now, of course, that doesn't apply to everyone, but just a lot of the websites that I saw. In this pastoral counseling that I looked at, I did check out the AAPC, which is the American Association of Pastoral Counseling. There, the ministers are trained in psychology and theology, and I looked at that website quite a bit. It had some different links and different things to look at, and throughout a lot of my search, I found key principles in pastoral counseling. And some of the ones I'll read to you are that Scripture is always right, that they believe clients are always responsible to do what is right, that the counselor's advice should be specific and doable, that you should remain hopeful and patient because things don't happen overnight. If you have if you have a bad marriage, you're not going to have a good marriage just the next day. Pastors also know that God can use you, so take charge of the situation. And also the foundation is the relationship, because you remember that you're a person talking to a person. And they also emphasize that counseling is a part of every counselor's life. So, counseling is part of every pastor's life. So they're used to doing that after grief or encouragement or anything like that. So what I found kind of to be differences is that the spirituality in counseling does talk about the spiritual person. It talks about a higher power. It talks about getting to know yourself, getting to know, everything that is involved with spirituality. But that pastoral counseling really focuses on Scripture, and that it's and more advice. Definitely, they give a to-do list more so than sometimes you would see in regular counseling or spirituality counseling. So it was very interesting to look at these and to kind of see where things are going in that field. I have a friend who is a pastor, and he is not in the pulpit anymore. He is he's doing marriage and family relationships from a pastoral counseling viewpoint, and so it's interesting to talk to him about this as well.